Do you want to talk about those future plans? Just a little bit, briefly?
Nope.
You don't want to talk about them?
Just say it's international. Well, we plan on selling
everything. Possibly van life, because we want to be near the Disney parks. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is day 1 of 2023. We stayed out a little later than we planned last night. The game lasted longer and my family came in from out of town and surprised everybody. So it was just a really fun time. We played games and we got home just before midnight. We were already in the bed by the time the new year came. We slept in just a little bit and Wade had to go to work first thing this morning. And then I went to the grocery store. So yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day. I just got back from the grocery store. I'm gonna put these groceries up. I haven't had coffee or breakfast, so I'm about to do that. Have no idea what the plan is for the day. I do know Wade probably won't be home until dinner time, and I've got to make the New Year's feast, and I've got to get a lot of that going very shortly, but not until I have coffee and breakfast. Alright, got the black-eyed peas in here. Now I think it's time for... Mimi, would you like to go on a walk? Come on. Let's go get your collar. Come on, let's go on a walk. So yeah, this has been going for a little bit. It probably still has a good 3 or 4 hours to where it's going to cook. So I just wanted to add the seasonings. I'm going to stir this up and then let it continue to cook. So the next thing I need to get started is the roast. We are going to be making a Mississippi pot roast for dinner. Every year we have the black-eyed peas on New Year's Day, and then normally we have cornbread and cabbage and stuff, but I don't eat cabbage, and it's just Wade and I. He doesn't eat cabbage. We really like black-eyed peas. We really like cornbread as well, but because of this Mississippi pot roast, we're gonna have rolls and mashed potatoes. So that's a lot of food in itself, so that's all we're really gonna be making tonight. I may add some carrots with the roast as well, but this is not your typical roast. I will add the Pinterest link that I found, but they're basically all the same. My aunts made this as a part of our Christmas dinner, and I fell in love. So it's as simple as throwing everything in a crock pot, but I'm not using the crock pot because we only have one, and I put the beans in there this morning. So I'm gonna make it in the oven. It should take, it says anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, and it possibly could be more. So I'm just gonna let it do its thing. But we've got to prep it and get it in the oven because we've got a couple of hours until dinner. I'm planning on everything being ready by 6 o'clock. So the last thing after we get this done is to make the mashed potatoes, but that'll be closer to actual mealtime. And also, Wade just sent me a text and said that he is headed home, which is very exciting because he wasn't planning on being home until basically dinner time, so I wasn't sure if he was going to be home between 5 and 7, and he just pulled up. So I'm super excited. Let's get this prepped and going so it can start cooking. So I've already done the first 2 steps. I have seared the outside of the chuck roast, and then I've preheated the oven to 300. So now I just need to add the ingredients. So this roast is double the size of what the recipe calls for. So I'm going to double everything that the recipe says. So I'm going to put about half of a jar of these peppers in here. Maybe a little more. 2 packets of gravy, 2 packets of ranch. I'm just going to do one at a time because it's kind of a mess. And then last it says to add the butter. So just to stick it in there like this. It's a lot of butter. And put the top on it and stick it in the oven. So it's definitely not the same day. We ended up working outside a little bit longer than we planned and eating dinner later than planned as well. So we binged a new show, Emily in Paris. I guess we like it because we're on season 2 now. But yesterday we just relaxed and did some stuff around the house. Planned out what we want to do for the year, kind of in a rough draft for sure.
Yeah, just some things that we want to accomplish in 2023.
Yeah, so we kind of just wanted to sit down and talk about that, what the future holds, what we plan to do and accomplish this year. We never did that last year. We actually said we would and we never did. So I don't think we're really going to recap the year. If you've been following along, the vlogs are there. We basically accomplished everything we set out to do. We didn't lose any weight. We probably gained a little bit more weight this year, like last year.
Well, just over the last like 3 weeks.
Yes, honestly, the holidays really get to us. That weight will fall off.
The number one thing I think both of us want to accomplish this year is get the camper finished.
Yeah.
So that we can use it.
Yeah, so we're really excited on working on the camper, but as you can see, rain, weather in general, the cold. It's currently raining. We've been dealing with bad weather for a while now. So. And
then the time change. It gets dark at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it's just not worth going out there and trying to work in the dark. Yeah,
so we're gonna do as much as we possibly can during the winter time, but when spring comes, we really want to tackle and finish. So we'll do what we can while it's rainy and cold, and then hopefully by the end of the spring, we'll have it complete. Usable. We'll have it usable. It may not be exactly what we want to complete it, but we want to have it for some trips. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of trips, another thing that we want to try to accomplish this year is to at least go somewhere once a month.
Yeah.
And then
just like a day. Yeah. Like a day trip.
And then have an overnight stay somewhere at least once every 3 months.
Yeah.
So 4 overnight stays
at least. At least.
Yeah.
That's the goal. This is going to be a year of us working towards some bigger goals that we've talked about in the past, some life changes that we're planning on doing in the next couple of years. So we really have to save a lot of money, and some things that we really would like to do, we may not be able to do this year. So those are the goals, to make sure that we're enjoying life a little bit, not just saving money. So those are those goals. And then, well, I guess talking about getting the weight off, well, this doesn't affect me as much as it affects you. Well, you said you wanted to do a half marathon.
Yeah, I'll probably do a half marathon this year, but I'm
going to, hopefully, if I can score a ticket for the Walt Disney World full marathon, I'm going to train for the marathon. So
yeah, so you'll be training this year
for next year, because this week is the week of marathon week at Disney World. They only do one a year, and obviously you have to buy they sell the tickets
well in advance.
Yeah, so in a couple of months, I think around March, they'll be putting those tickets out, and they go fast. So I'm gonna have to be on my A game to score a position in the full marathon. So when I did the St. Jude half marathon, I was working towards a goal to be able to be in the upper corrals for the full marathon at Disney. You have to submit a time slot with an official race with the equivalent of a half marathon. So that is one of the reasons that I wanted to do that half marathon. Remy is tiptoeing around the house, so you can hear his little paws tapping around. But that was one of the reasons that I wanted to get a certain time spot for that race. And I got a spot where I can submit my time for this race. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of training.
Yes.
I did not put in enough strength training for this past half marathon training season. I did a lot of running, and I did a really good running training season, but I want to incorporate more strength training because I've done strength training in the past with half marathon training, and it worked really good, I think. So I really want to incorporate that for this full marathon training. So. But we do plan on doing the St. Jude half marathon before marathon weekend, so that would be this year. So
Yes.
yeah,
and yeah, and another thing that we want to do, which is actually just came to an idea yesterday,
well,
is that McAllister was accepted into the Mississippi Lions band, which is basically a world-known band or world recognized
people all
band.
around the world will be coming and participating.
And this summer they are traveling to Boston to perform in I'm assuming a parade.
It's a parade and a show at the same time as what
Was it described?
I got. Yes, yeah.
So anyway, so he is in that this year. So neither one of us have ever been to Boston. So we decided to make a vacation out of it and travel.
Road trip,
yeah, just take like 10 days and travel up there,
Yeah.
see some things, stop along the way at some sites that we want to see, and then make it on the way back.
Yeah.
So like an East Coast, but not coast.
I don't know how many
road
new states it would be for you, but I've counted, and it would be 9 new states that we'd be traveling through. So I haven't really explored the East Coast very much, especially like anything past Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. I don't think I've went past up the East Coast. So that would be a whole new
so basically
experience.
it would be going through Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina.
Well, we wouldn't have to go through North Carolina, but we would be really close, so we really want to go through North Carolina.
Tennessee, or Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania,
New Jersey,
Delaware, New York, and then
Connecticut.
Connecticut and then Massachusetts. I think that's what we counted. It was like 9 states, not counting Tennessee and Alabama.
Yeah. I don't know if we were going through Georgia. I think we just go through some of the states.
We shouldn't go through Georgia because we're going Huntsville, Chattanooga, and then
okay. But either way, that would be a huge trip. 10 days, maybe a couple more days added onto it, because we would want to be able to at least visit some of those states as we're driving through. It's if you go straight to Boston, Salem area, it's about 20-hour drive straight through without stops and whatnot. So we definitely want to make it a nice road trip. We are planning, talking about trips, we are planning on bringing Remy on every trip that we take this year.
Correct.
So we do have a Disney trip planned for 2023, not counting the marathon weekend because that's an obvious. Remy will be attending that.
Well, that's getting to the
that's
year.
2024, but I know we're planning for it, so it's just like on my brain. But we have a trip that we were going to bring Remy for his first Disney trip in October of this year, camper and all, but I don't think that we're going to do that trip. So, especially if we do this Boston road trip. So,
yes.
I don't think I'm going to be sad about it too much because we will be going to Disney in a couple months after the plan. So, it's not going to be that much different, but Disney is not really in the plan for the year. Anything can happen, honestly, because we plan these out and it doesn't always go to plan. But I don't think we're going to do Disney this year, and it's so crazy to say.
Yeah. But I think we'll be able to do it.
You think we'll be able to do what?
Not go to Disney.
Oh, yeah. I think with other adventures. So we have some other stuff that we want to do. I've never been to the mountains. So I really would like to do the mountains, but because of the last minute plans for this road trip, I'm not really sure if we'll do that either.
We'll
But
be driving through the mountains.
no, I'm saying like I want to go camping with our camper in the Smoky Mountains, like Pigeon Forge area. So we'll see. It's not really on the radar at the moment. So yeah, that is basically our list. We're not shooting for a lot. Like I said, this is a building year for our future plans. Do you want to talk about those future plans? Just a little bit briefly?
Nope.
You don't want to talk about them?
Just say it's international.
Well, then you're really going to confuse people because the plan's always been Florida.
Well, plans have changed.
No, not in its entirety. That's why I want to talk about it.
No.
Can we just briefly talk about it?
No.
Please.
We can talk about it in 2024.
No.
No.
Okay, I'm just going to briefly say one thing. Just because I just want to fill everyone in. Okay, so everyone knows the story. If you don't, look back on the channel. We've talked about it before. We sold our house. We got this tiny house. We renovated it. We wanted to become debt-free, have no mortgage, be able to save, enjoy life just a little bit more without having all that on our heads. We plan on selling our house somewhere in 2024 or 2025. We don't know 100%.
Well, we plan on selling
everything. Okay, everything. Except our dog.
And some clothes.
And maybe some clothes. And then we may get a little storage unit to put some, obviously. Yes.
Get your mom's house.
Okay, anyways. So we plan on selling all of our things and maybe moving to a different country for a year. Possibly van life. Still in the works.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a mixture of van life and some,
like Airbnbs or short-term rentals. The one big thing is getting roomy on a plane. That really scares me. So if anybody has tips,
people do it every day.
I understand it stresses me out. So if anybody has any tips to help me plan better, please leave them in the comments. But just know that we're planning on going to an English-speaking country for a year. Before our original plan on moving to Central Florida, because we want to be near the Disney parks. That's kind of why we haven't really bought an annual pass, though you can't buy them, and really focusing on going to Disney because we plan to live there in the short future. But we're changing our plans just a little bit to accommodate this new plan. So I just wanted to mention that because this year may not look as exciting as going to Disney all the time and though we're going to be doing some fun things, it may not be as exciting. But just know that we are building for our future to travel and do more in the coming year or so. So we're really excited about it. We're really excited about what the future holds. It's always fun to plan and, I don't know, get excited for the new year. I just did a reset. We're doing new, we're trying to get stretches in, being a little bit more active, not just running. We are both trying to do stretches though in the mornings and just make ourselves feel good. So yeah, we've kind of done a reset, cleaned the house, got everything situated. We're really excited. So yeah, that is it.
That's it.
That's the plan. So let us know what you think about our future plans. If you have any tips for traveling the East Coast with a dog, you have an Airbnb that we can rent, that'd be really cool. Yeah, leave it in the comments. Thank you guys for following along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.